behind bars tonight.
There was a surprise witness today in the investigation of former Governor Edwin Edwards.
What causes nearly 24 students to brawl at a Pointe-Coupee high school?
And an exclusive one-on-one interview with former President George Bush in town today to dedicate LSU's new war memorial.
Channel 2 News at 6 is next.
You're watching WBRZ Channel 2 News on your side with Dave Lehman, Andrea Clessy, Pat Shingleton, and Mike Rhodes.
Just when we thought the Edwards investigation was winding down, a surprise witness testifies before the grand jury. Welcome to Channel 2 News at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Dave Lehman is off tonight. Even though many expect indictments against former Governor Edwin Edwards and his son, a new witness testified in front of the grand jury.
That witness is an old friend of the former governor's. Reporter Avery Miller joins us now with the latest. Avery?
Andrea, new revelations continue to emerge in the investigation of Edwards, but still no indictments. Just as the investigation of Edwin Edwards seems to be winding down, a brand new witness appeared in front of the grand jury.
Very beautiful day and great weather.
Former State Representative Joe Delpit, who has a long history with Edwards. He testified for a little more than an hour.
I'm proud to be a friend of my friend Edwin Edwards.
It was back in 1986 that a grand jury indicted Delpit for a pardons for sale scheme. The accusation was that Delpit accepted cash to help prisoners get out of jail. Edwards served as a character witness, and Delpit was acquitted by a jury 2 years later. This is just the latest twist in the investigation. Those involved in the probe were stunned when the FBI arrested 76-year-old Dempsey White. Agents say he and Edwards tried to wiretap the phones of FBI agent Jeffrey Santini. We visited White's home and his family spoke out.
It's a very difficult time for the family, I must say. So I don't know any information, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
The feds say their investigation is right on track.
Our case is very strong, I believe. We're very confident in our case.
But still, no indictments.
And Dempsey White has been released from jail, and he's had to report to a halfway house. His family put up the $60,000 bond.
Okay.
New twists and turns. Thanks, Avery. The verdict is in, and it looks like the former warden of the Louisiana State Penitentiary will head to jail himself. The jury found C. Murray Henderson guilty of attempted second-degree murder in the shooting of his wife, Ann Butler. Butler was shot 5 times in August of 1997. She says her former husband didn't have to choose violence.
I feel very sorry for him, but he's the one who did this. I did not do that. I was sitting there quietly in a chair when he made the choice to pick up a gun and shoot. There were many other ways that his problems could have been solved.
Henderson's lawyer tried to convince the jury that Henderson was suffering from mental dementia at the time, but the jury didn't buy that and returned their guilty verdict in less than 2 hours.
Students were sent home today after a gang-related rumble at Pointe-Coupee Central High School. It is the kind of incident that has parents there very, very concerned. Parents and administrators alike are afraid violence at the school could get worse before it gets better. Reporter Marvin Hurst was at the scene this morning with the latest. Marvin?
And expect the arrest of 4 juveniles tomorrow morning from the school day turned slugfest at Pointe-Coupee Central.
It happened here, just before the homeroom bell. However, many say this is not where the fight really starts.
I saw children running. I saw kids raising voices. I saw kids fighting, to be
Principal
honest.
Wilbert Joseph says this violent episode comes to the school from the outlying communities, and parents back that up. This is about so-called gang colors.
Morganza is blue, New Rose is red. I guess other places, I don't know what color Bachelor is.
The kids from up there the way, they can't even wear the same color shirts that the children wear from New Road. And this is wrong. The system is run wrong.
And this is about territory.
Lakeshia, Ennis, and Bachelor can't get along with New Road.
The result is an all-out fight among 20 students, even some reports of weapons.
They just had screwdrivers, long, sharp things.
Sharon Turner has a son who was in the fight.
I'm ready for my children not to come back down here, and after the day, they will not come back down here.
The parents cannot be in peace because they scared when their children come down here, they're not coming back home safe. And the system is not run right down here.
It's a situation where the school is doing its part.
We brought students together, and we were not able to bring communities together.
It's also the day an ongoing fight over place and color got out of hand.
Now, there will be no school tomorrow at Point Capee Central High School. They will use tomorrow as a planning day. The parish school board, however, will meet, and they are expected to adopt a zero-tolerance policy. And let me also add here that the school confirmed that there were no weapons used in that fight.
Well, that's good. I hope they can get everything straight. Thanks, Marvin.
Right.
Andrea, a deadly gamble in Livingston cost one man his life. The driver of this pickup truck tried to cross the track in front of a train on Highway 190. The impact split the vehicle in two. The driver was killed instantly. Witnesses say the engineer of the train sounded his whistle and the train's lights were on.
Police have arrested 3 men, charging them with the murder of Southeastern University student Robert Connolly. Ken Pasterek just returned from Hammond with this story. Ken?
Well, Andrea, police say the shooting appears to be a result of a drug deal gone bad. The arrests come exactly a week after the murder. Reggie Moore and Larry Briggs Jr., both of Amite, and Felix Baptiste Causey of Slidell, all charged with gunning down Robert Connolly. Authorities say Moore was the trigger man.
We just know that, the two groups met and a gun was pulled and shots were fired. We don't really know what exactly caused them to fire the shots at him.
Connolly was a freshman at Southeastern. His parents didn't want to talk on camera. Letters they showed us from their son painted a picture of a troubled young man trying to fight a drug addiction. His father said that addiction cost his son's life. At Southeastern, news of the arrest spread quickly around campus. Students like Lakeshia Pines read the story on the front page of the university's weekly newspaper. They're glad the alleged killers are locked up.
Whoever done it, they should be in jail for it. Because it like shook everybody up, all the students.
They need to do more than just put them in jail. I mean, that's pretty scary.
Now, the 3 suspects are in the Tangible Parish Jail in Amite, charged with first-degree murder. Any of their bonds have not been set yet.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ken.
Hurricane George may total up as one of the costliest hurricanes ever. Damage totals for George are estimated at $2.5 billion. In Puerto Rico alone, damages reached $1.7 billion. Louisiana's total was figured to be $15 million. Although the number seems staggering, at today's prices, damage from Hurricane Andrew would total $17.7 billion. Hard to believe.
I know, but not a cloud in the sky this afternoon. Beautiful fall-like temperatures. Let's check in with Pat for our first forecast. Pat?
Annie, it's been a long time since we've experienced the daylight today, but it's spectacular outside. Take a look at Sky Eye 2. We're all clear expected through tonight and tomorrow and the next day as we look at our WeatherNet 2 site. We tap in right now to Northwestern School in Zachary. That's where it is, Pat. Northwestern Middle School, 74 degrees the temperature there, 48% relative humidity, winds out of the north at 5. And a first forecast, it'll find an evening where the wow weather continues. All clear tonight, cool tonight, sunny, breezy, and cool tomorrow. Post the low at 52. We'll set the high at 77. Well, it's Pat's Tailgate a little bit later in the show, and also some spectacular weather still continuing. All that later. Now back to you.
Thank you, Pat. Coming up on Channel 2 News at 6, you voted for them, and we have the results. Mike Rhodes reveals your fans' choice high school football player of the week.
And a Channel 2 News exclusive, an interview with former President George Bush. George Bush paid a visit to Baton Rouge today.
The former president was in town to help dedicate a war memorial at LSU. Marvin McGraw has more on that story.
They gathered on the parade grounds. The friends and family of those who fell in the line of duty.
I was out of school, but he was a drum major at LSU.
Buddy Boudreaux came to remember his friend Stephen Bourne, a drum major in the Tiger Band.
He was an excellent drum major and a very fine young man. And he got shot down in the Air Force in World War II.
Ann Arbour came to remember the 3 young men she dated in college who went to war in '42 and never came back.
They were students and they were brave men, and they didn't hesitate 1 minute to serve their country.
624 names are engraved on the memorial wall. The names of students, faculty, staff, and alumni killed in the Second World War and later conflicts.
Our freedom has a price. It's a high price.
A veteran shot down in the Pacific during World War II, former President George Bush tells us in an exclusive interview that it's a fitting tribute.
It's a beautiful day on a beautiful campus, and my heavens, it's very emotional for me, having been a veteran and fought for my country, to see this lovely tribute to those who gave their lives. It's really beautiful, beautifully crafted too.
And many of the 1,000 or so students looking on seem to agree.
Just neat to have this on campus. It's a real honor. It's a really neat thing to have on campus. It just looks great.
And it is nice. The memorial cost around $400,000. It is being paid for through private donations. And now it's tailgate party time. Right. Dunham versus Southern Lab, and Pat Shingleton's in the middle of the fray.
Whoa, it's going to be a take a look at the statistics for today. 77 the high, 59 the low, 82 and 60s the normals for the day. So when we come back, we salute the teams, even have a little bit of food. But right now, we'll be right back after this.
Oh, hey, by the way, while you're at the marketplace,
it's fall. Time to serve family favorites like Winn-Dixie's delicious pork. Now get WD Select Lean Boston Butt Pork Roast for a low 78 cents a pound. Start your day with community coffee. These varieties are only $3.98. And pick up 2-liter Pepsi favorites for just 68 cents.
While you're at the marketplace, Winn-Dixie Marketplace. Isn't life delicious?
Pat's Tailgate Party is brought to you by the friendly folks at your neighborhood Winn-Dixie.
Hey, if you're traveling to Gainesville, don't forget your Tiger Eyes from LSU Gift Center, helping out the LSU Athletic Foundation there. Amy Weiner is representing Dunham today. Now, you had homecoming last week, and I'm not allowed to mention who the queen was, but you had a good time, and you should have good weather tomorrow night. How's the team looking?
We're looking pretty good. We're pretty confident.
Okay, so tomorrow's be a big game. Let's hear it for Dunham for their game tomorrow night. And also, we have over here none other than my good friend. I know who it is. I know who it is. The one, the only, Nicholas Peoples. How are you, Nicholas?
I'm all right.
Okay, you guys are undefeated. What about tomorrow night?
Well, we're going to the game with the mind state that we're 0-0 because this is our first district game. And our team motto is work hard and it'll pay off.
There you go. Thank you very much. Let's take a look now and find out what's happening on the weather. Here's your quick cast for tonight, a 52-degree nighttime low. We set the high at 77 as we look also for maximum sunshine and great weather to continue over the next 48 hours. Projected lows tonight, once again, into the 50s for the Baton Rouge area. Here's your 60s and 70s, and note the 40s rippling down across Texas, providing some cool air there too. So watch the cloud cover, satellites rapidly moving out of the area, and what we notice is this little slow-moving front gradually bridging across southern areas of Mississippi. Ridge of high pressure coming in behind, little lingering cloud cover, but that will break too, and that's going to provide some real nice weather all the way through Sunday. Here's your shower activity along the coast, and be alert that as you head down to Gainesville into the swamp, some swampy type weather. A little bit of cloud cover, maybe a passing shower, muggy, steamy, and warm, with a forecast around here tonight that calls for excellento weather. Clear skies, cool. We post the low at 52 degrees. For the morning drive, when you head to the bus stop, anticipate the sunshine to be back. Comfortable day, light northwest winds, 77 degrees the high, 49 the overnight low. And here's the extended. Nice weather Saturday, Sunday, increasing cloud cover Monday, and a scattering of isolated rain Tuesday. So the next shot of precipitation early next week. Happy birthday to Donald Albin, 75 years young. Vivian Robichaud, 87 years young. Bertha Landry, 96. And Archie and Pat Cook celebrating an anniversary. And there you can see LSU in Florida. Oh, it's going to be a tricky game. It's going to be going up and down. But 77 degrees the temperature. My apologies. Looked like the system locked up. We'll take our WeatherNet 2 site as we say goodbye. And let's see what's happening right now. Here's Southern Lab, one of our schools on the tailgate tonight. 76 degrees right there. So a real nice evening. So everybody ready for football tomorrow night, right? Okay, but you know, on the tailgate, you can't eat until you do the cheer. Here it is. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a great night for football tomorrow night, too. Back to you, Annie and Margaret.
Okay, Pat, thanks a lot. They're still having fun out there. Here's what's heading your way tonight at 10.
Tonight.
Need to lose weight? Help is on the way. It's a fat-fighting drug unlike any other.
An amazing new way to shed unwanted pounds on special assignment.
Tonight on Channel 2 News 10 at 10.
Plus, the woman who touched off the Clinton scandal may be cutting a tell-all deal. These stories and more coming up tonight on Channel 2 News 10 at 10.
Now at 6 o'clock, sports is up next. Mike Rhodes is standing by in the newsroom. Mike?
Thank you, Margaret. Football Thursday night coming up. We'll have a live report of one of the key games tonight. And also, we will tell you who our Fans' Choice winner is this week. Stay with us.
Fans' Choice is being brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center and Audubon Ford.
Welcome back, everybody. Our 3 finalists for the Fans' Choice Award took it down to the wire before one pulled away. This week's winner racked up more than 1,200 votes, and the winner is...
Chip Major, Catholic High of Point-Capee.
Heading into their heated in-town battle with False River, the Hornets are getting an end-of-the-week momentum builder. Chip Major takes our Fans' Choice Award for Week 5.
I'm just glad that I was able to receive it, all my fans. I really have to give it to them, I guess. They're the ones that called in. And, I had a pretty good game last week, but it's not all mine. My team, they blocked for me.
He did a real good job, and I tell you what, really excited about him, and all the teammates supported him, and I like the way we rallied around him on this.
With 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, it's easy to see why Chip Major was the Fans' Choice Athlete of the Week. But Major says that the award recognizes more than just the football program.
People tend to forget about the little towns, and get something like this, and it's nice.
I like it. I think the kids really love it. Last week, Clark Ingman got nominated, and exposure is great. And I think over here, it really hadn't had a lot of exposure, and I like that.
Fans' Choice Award winner Chip Major, bringing recognition to the Hornets and an entire town. Jim Egan, Channel 2 Sports.
Well, the high school football season reaches week 6 tonight with one of the good matchups, Catholic playing host to Estruma at Olympia. We go out live to John Burke standing by. John?
Mike, a couple of long-time traditional Baton Rouge high school football rivals squaring off tonight with Estruma, who's 0-5, going against Catholic, 4-1. Now, Catholic, they need a win tonight to stay within a game of co-leaders, Central and Santa Mont. Well, Estruma, they just need a W to get in the win column here tonight. Joining me is second-year head coach Mike Mullins. Coach, tough year on the reservation. What's the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Basically, the biggest difference is leadership and experience. If we slowly getting our experience, but our leadership is coming along a little bit slower than we thought.
What's it going to take to turn it around here in the second half of the year?
Good execution and hard effort.
I'm sure an upset of this Catholic high team would be something you dearly want. What's it going to take to win tonight?
Good execution.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
A couple of your ball players, Willie Tansel and Kiffany Spears, have had just terrific years in the losing causes. Just comment on them.
Sure has. Kiffany is a kid who has outstanding speed, and we try to put him in places where he can really help us. And Willie Tansel is our Iron Man. We try to use him as much as we can. He's a pretty good passer, runner, and he does what he can to help the team. He also plays defense. And we're going to put him in those positions tonight. Hope we can get our first win tonight.
Okay, Coach, good luck to you tonight here. It's Estruma and Catholic at Olympia Field. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Mike, live from Olympia Stadium. Now, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, John. Our game of the week is on tomorrow night's schedule, Bel Air against Central. Now, the Bel Air Bengals off to a phenomenal start this year after going winless in 1997. They are still in the District 4-5A hunt with only one loss so far this season. Central off to an unbeaten 5-0 mark, and they are tied with Santa Mont for the district lead. Their most recent win on Friday night as the Wildcats held off a late Zachary rally and won it by a score of 35-28. Bel Air and Central, our game of the week on Friday night. Well, if it's true that a person can dress for success, the Tigers are in a slight dilemma as they travel to Florida this week. Steve Spurrier said earlier on he wanted his team to wear white at home for a change, so LSU must now go to a new look. Now, it is doubtful they will wear purple. The last time they wore purple against Florida was 1993. The Tigers suffered their worst home loss in school history, 58-3. In 95, Jared Denardo went to purple pants against Kentucky. Not only were the pants ugly, so was the outcome as the Cats beat them 24-16. And then in 96, Vandy said no to LSU wearing white at home, so they invented the gold jerseys. Like the champions in baseball, the Tigers wore it well to the tune of 35-0. And the only other golden experience against Notre Dame in the Indy Bowl, and it's a good guess this is the uniform they will wear against Florida with one change possible, purple numbers, we are told, but that's only a rumor. One of the players who had started to emerge for LSU will not make the trip to Florida tomorrow. Tight end Kyle Kipps injured his ankle this week, will not be able to play. He had a touchdown catch against Auburn and one against Georgia. No other tight end at LSU has had a catch, and the loss of Kipps will no doubt alter LSU's offensive plans. And tight end is one of those positions, kind of like catcher on a baseball team. You don't hear a lot about them all the time, but they are very important. Yes. LSU needs good production out of the tight end. They were getting it, and now it's gone. At least for this week.
He looks like he's such a big guy.
He is.
I know it.
And strong.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for this weekend.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Coming up next, some senior Olympians got down to some tough competition today.
But first, here's how the stock market finished today.
Today wasn't exactly the kind of day most people would want to spend inside playing billiards.
No kidding. But that didn't stop Louisiana's senior Olympians from taking to the tables. They held their annual 8-ball billiards tournament at Callais in Baton Rouge. After a couple of rounds, the medals were handed out. The group is getting ready for some really big competition. The National Senior Olympics Billiards Games will be held in Baton Rouge in the year 2001. Not that far off.
That is a fun sport if you have the time to just kind of do it.
Yes, it is fun. It looks like they're having fun, too. And great weather to have fun tonight. A little evening outside, maybe.
Football outside and enjoy the evening out, maybe barbecuing. We'll see you tonight at 10.
Good night.
Thanks for watching Channel 2, locally owned and operated for over 43 years.
On the next Health Calls, Women and Heart Disease with Dr. William Castelli and Dr. William Binder. Join us Sunday morning at 10:30 on WBRZ.